Did you know that half of the working population in Luxembourg is actually from the neighboring countries? That is France, Germany, and Belgium. Where do these people live? Most of them live at the borders of those countries. So if you're French, if you're Belgian, if you're German, why would you have to come and live the whole way in Luxembourg? It's best to just live in your country. So most of them do commute, but they live at the borders of Luxembourg. This brings me to the topic of today, which is the top 5 areas to rent affordable accommodation at the borders of Luxembourg. There are so many people who are living at the borders of Luxembourg, and I'm here to share with you some of my top 5 areas that I would recommend for you to go and check out. And if you're in Luxembourg, to go probably check them out and compare the prices there. But I'm told that the prices are very much affordable in comparison to Luxembourg. It's going to be Arlon. Arlon is at the border of Belgium and Luxembourg, and it's about 20 minutes drive by car, and by train I think it's about 10 minutes, depending on what time you leave and what time you travel. So I'm not so sure because I've never used the train there, but I think it's about 10 minutes. So the one good thing about Arlon that I like the most is the fact that they have IKEA there, and if you love shopping from IKEA, then that place is for you. I mean, you'll be able to go buy whatever things that you want. It's a small town. There's nothing much really, but in terms of accommodation, the accommodation there is quite very affordable, and there's so many people who live there. Not only the Belgians, even those who are not Belgians are living there. So if you're looking for accommodation, I think you would also try to check that out. Then the second one for me would be Trier. Trier is at the border of Germany and Luxembourg. And you find that there's so many Germans. Most of the Germans who live there. And also, of course, not only Germans, even those who are not Germans, you find that they live there. And the good thing about Trier is that shopping, majority of people from Luxembourg spend most of their weekends going there to do their shopping. Some just go for a getaway weekend because it's really big and there's so many things to do. There's a lot of sightseeing, stuff like that. So if you're into all that, Trier would be the best for you. And it's about 45 minutes by car. And with the train, I think it's about 10 minutes. So I'm not so sure really, but yeah, I know by car it's about 45 minutes there. So it's one of a favorite for so many people who are working in Luxembourg. And then the other one is Thionville. Thionville is at the border of France and Luxembourg. It's about 34 minutes by car. And by train, I think it's about also 10 minutes, approximately 10-15 minutes, depending on the time that you leave. So yeah, Thionville is a favorite for so many French people, and of course, even if you're not French, you can go and live there. So you can go check out Thionville. Another is Metz. Metz is at the border of France and Luxembourg. It's about an hour's drive from Luxembourg to that place. So many people live there as well. You can check it. There is Saarbrücken. Saarbrücken is at the border of Germany and Luxembourg. It's about an hour's drive by car, and there are also buses that go there, and also there are trains. So I'm not so sure how long it takes, but by car it's about an hour's drive. So many people live there as well, and also people love to go there to do their shopping. So if you love the shopping, you can go check it out. Yeah, those are some of the top 5 areas that are at the border of Luxembourg, and you find that there's so many people living there. These places are quite very affordable. Based on the feedback I've gotten from some people who are living there, they say it's really very affordable, and you'll be able to save quite a lot. But of course, there's a downside to everything. Some of these places are quite very far, so you find that you spend a lot of time on traffic, and then mostly at the peak hours, there will be a lot of traffic. The commuting is really very tiring because you have to wake up like at 5 in the morning or 6 in the morning, and then you have to leave very late because you want to cut the traffic and stuff like that. So you find that majority of these people spend a lot of time on the road, and you find that you're missing out on so much. Sometimes you're just so tired, you just want to get into the car and drive like 10 minutes or 5 minutes and you're already home. So that's one of the downsides that many people complain about the most. And then some of the cities are quite small, there's nothing much really happening, so you end up missing out on a lot. But I guess it depends on what exactly you're looking for and what you want, so that's not a big deal. And then for the working, these days most of the offices are encouraging home working, so you find that there's so many people who are working from home. So really commuting is not a big deal. You can come to office maybe once in a week or twice a week. And in fact, if you're going to come, some offices prefer that people, in early mornings you work from home, then you can choose to come to office during the time when the traffic is not there. So you see that it's really a plus. So you don't have to come and spend all that money in Luxembourg to find very expensive rent. So if you're up for it, you can go find accommodation there. But also another thing I think is that if you're a non-EU citizen, I don't think you can live in these areas at the borders of Luxembourg if you do not have a resident permit for those countries. So if you plan to go and live in Trier, you must have a resident permit for Trier. If you're going to go to Arlon, you have to have a resident permit for Belgium. And if you're going to go to Metz, you have to have a resident permit for France. So you really have to check that out. I don't think you can just live there. That's another downside for the non-EU citizens. But for the EU citizens, you can live anywhere that you want. So that's a plus for them. So if really you really are not up for the competition and the stress of Luxembourg, finding this accommodation, I recommend that you could go and live in one of these places. The accommodation there is quite very, very affordable and it's really good. So yeah, those are some of my top 5 areas of the places you can choose to live at the borders of Luxembourg. I hope you enjoyed this vlog and thank you for watching. And if you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. And for those who have subscribed, thank you so much for being with me. The numbers are growing. I really appreciate. And well, comment, subscribe, share, like, and all that. So thank you for watching. Goodbye.